being cost-effective and having a quick turnaround time. If you're in need of such services, call us today at 365-2763 or find us on the web at www.jeffrussolaw.com. We are located in downtown Princeton on the east side of the courthouse.
This is an advertisement.
Are you ready to sell your home? Call Farless Realty today and let a realtor sell it for you. Ready to buy a home? Don't waste precious time. Farless Realty can help, and interest rates are still reasonably low. They'll work hard to find you a home that will fit you, your family, and your budget. Contact Farless Realty at 270-365-5058 or stop by 323 South Jefferson Street in Princeton, Kentucky. Check out all their listings on Facebook and at farlessrealty.com.
Pennyroyal Home Medical, they're more than just a wheelchair and oxygen store. They also sell and install home and vehicle accessibility items such as walk-in tubs and showers, stair lifts, elevators, ramps, scooters, wheelchair lifts, hand controls, and more. They guarantee the lowest price on same items and are licensed and rated A+ with the Better Business Bureau, providing over 35 years of local service. If quality counts, call Pennyroyal Home Medical at 1-800-445-8002.
You've been listening to your WPKY News Edge. Find news 24 hours a day at WPKYonline.com.
WPKY.
1580 103.3 WPKY, Tess and Ty, and we're getting ready to start Coffee Talk here in just a minute, and everybody is showing up, and should be a gorgeous day for all of it today. Partly cloudy, high around 87. No fog. We got away with no fog. How did we do that?
It wasn't in the forecast.
It was
so
coming across the ridge this morning, well, I'm just saying.
So
north of the county.
The sun came up, and it didn't have a chance to develop.
Do I sound like I live in the hills?
Yeah, but I mean, that's
coming across the ridge this morning.
But it didn't happen.
Well, it was. The coon saw it too. He was out in my yard this morning. Hey, if you don't have any place that you're supposed to go or that you have to be for lunch, can I suggest some place? Because Kay's it's awesome. It's one of those places where they know your name when they come in, and if they don't, they get to know you, and they'll know your name before you leave. You'll have, juice running down your chin. They got the best fried pickles in town. The fried pork chops. Oh, those fried pork chops are amazing. That they don't have a bone in them or anything. They're really good. Make sure you go by and see her and tell Kay that we sent you. Would you do that for us? It's from Tess and Ty in 1580 103.3 WPKY.
The voice of Caldwell County. We're 1580, 103.3 WPKY, Princeton.
Fox News, I'm Jill Nato. China's threatening unspecified countermeasures if President Trump goes ahead with a new 10% tariff on $300 billion worth of Chinese imports. The president at a rally in Ohio last night saying the tariff's justified.
For the last 20 years, China's taken hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars out of our country, and now we're stopping the theft.
The tariff may drive up some consumer prices. The granddaughter of Robert Kennedy's died in Hyannisport. Police sources say methadone was found near the body of Saoirse Kennedy Hill.
The statement from the Kennedy family quoted her 91-year-old grandmother, Ethel Kennedy, as saying, "The world is a little less beautiful today."
Julie Leonardi of Fox TV affiliate Boston 25. And former First Lady Michelle Obama tells an Amtrak magazine there's no chance she'll run for president. This is Fox
W277CK Princeton. Here's your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast.
Well, today's sunshine. High 87 tonight, partly cloudy. As your Sports Edge hits the field, a Jake Hodge Foundation wiffle ball tournament this evening at 7 o'clock with an overnight low of 67. Now tomorrow, partly sunny. Dotson days will hit full speed with a high of 86. And then on Sunday, 20% shot of showers and thunderstorms, mostly sunny, otherwise high of 85. 68 at 1580, 103.3 WPKY.
Your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast is brought to you by Cozy Living Interiors. Time to take a look at community news here on 1580 103.3 WPKY. This morning's community news is brought to you by Community Medical Clinic.
Well, Shane Bogle, Caldwell County Extension Agent for Agriculture and Natural Resource Education, would like to remind everyone of the Rinse and Return event on Monday, August 5th, this coming Monday from 9 to 11 at Agrichem in Princeton. For more information, call 270-365-2080. 885.
Hey, today's the day. Get your buddies together. Get signed up for the 10th Annual Cornhole Tournament on Donovan and Calvert Streets. That's at 6 o'clock tonight. Dotson Days Community Festival here in Princeton. If you haven't pre-registered, the day of registration is $30 per team. Teams of 2, any age or gender, are asked to arrive early for the registration at 5:30. Rules provided by the officials, and they make all the decisions as well. Bring your favorite cornhole board and get in on the prizes. For more information, 270-625-1134.
Well, there is a Reading and Library Fun Day today at the Caldwell County Primary, Elementary, and Middle Schools. Now, that's today. The Hope and Cope Center has actually prepared a really great activity for the kids. Middle schoolers can even take advantage of the summer reading program, get ahead in points before the school year even begins. Now, that is making reading fun.
Hey, learn, compete, and cruise. Princeton Rotary Bicycle Safety Class and Rodeo will kick off at 6 o'clock this evening during Dotson Days at Dotson Park in Princeton. Children ages 4 through 6 are invited to join in on the safety class. 365-2727 for more information.
Well, dust those clubs off. It's time for 2019 Lake Barkley Chamber of Commerce Golf Classic. That's at the Princeton Golf and Country Club in Princeton today at 11 a.m. Now, it's your opportunity to bring a co-worker, client, or customer, connect with area business people, and play 18 holes of golf in a casual and fun atmosphere. Hole-in-one prizes. Prizes on every hole. For more information, give them a buzz at 270-388-4769.
And you got 1 day left to get registered for the Autism Acceptance 5K Walk Run, and that is tomorrow morning from 10 to 2 at the Caldwell County Park. Registration is free with a $50 fundraiser. Vendors spots are still available as well. They're just $25. For more information, contact Heather P. Poole, 625-3809.
Well, for students new to Caldwell County this year, open registration. They can get signed up next Tuesday, August 6th from 9 to 3 by appointment, or at open house next Thursday, August 8th from 4 to 6 p.m. Now, while you're there for open house, make sure you stop by the Caldwell County Hope and Cope, say hi, and pick up your child's school supplies. And, of course, a lot of those were donated when we had the drive over at Goodman's Funeral Home across the street, and they're still taking donations, by the way, from Jonathan Goodwin and Josh Cook. It's 8:05 with Tess and Tide, 1580 103.3 WPKY.
There's an advantage in being the home team. You know who Emma Talley, Jake Lewis, and Pat Gates are. You've seen the wall around Butler Stadium and have heard of the Caldwell Crazies. Trice Hughes, we're your home team. Here's our home team deal of the
A
week.
gorgeous 2018 Buick LaCrosse with low mileage. Kelley Blue Book, their purchase price is $22,870. This vehicle is Trice priced at $20,000.
Get this home team deal of the week at Trice Hughes. Find us on Highway 91 North, Princeton, or tricehughes.com.
What does your morning sound like?
Morning, Al.
Next stop, 32nd Street.
Welcome to McDonald's.
Hi, can I get an Egg McMuffin, please? Here's to making your morning routine a little better with a delicious breakfast from McDonald's.
Hello, this is Jerry Gillum of AgQuest Financial Services. Over the years, AgQuest has provided exceptional financial solutions to our area farmers. Today, this service will be enhanced by our new relationship with Agrichem, your locally owned, full-service ag retail provider. With customer service as a top priority, all your ag service needs can now be met at the same place with the same goal: on-farm success as a result of efficient, productive financial and agronomic needs. Please call us today to see what AgQuest and Agrichem can do for you. Together, we find the way.
When it's time to buy or sell a home, you need an agent that you can trust, one that will meet your needs and get you a great price. Hi, I'm Brandon Moorfield, a licensed real estate agent with the Vince Carter team. I service customers in many surrounding counties, but Caldwell County is my home, and I'd like the opportunity to earn your trust as your local agent. So are you ready to start your search for that new home, or how fast do you need to sell your current home? Call me, Brandon Moorfield, at 270-963-1225.
1580 103.3 WPKY Coffee Talk is on the air. Morning conversations about things of interest to you. If you'd like to be a guest on Coffee Talk, just email us your information at WPKYonline@gmail.com. We're proud to call Caldwell County home. WPKY.
1580 103.3 WPKY. 8:07 with Tess and Ty. And Man, do we have some pretty ladies in the studio this morning.
If it wasn't any prettier, I don't know what we do.
I think George Kilgore might be the luckiest man alive. He got to hang out with these pretty ladies all morning.
He got to escort them in.
Hey, George Kilgore from the Princeton Optomist Club, of course, he's treasurer over there, is with us this morning. And I mean, the 12 million other things that you do, I think you're a busy guy too, just a little bit, right?
Keep busy. Keep out of trouble, maybe.
Hey, you know what? My dad used to say, if you're staying busy, you're staying out of trouble.
Hope that's correct.
That was his excuse to put me to work anyway.
Exactly.
It worked an awful lot of the time.
Sounded good anyway.
Who have you got with you this morning?
Well, this morning, the Princeton Optomist Club, a couple of weeks ago in one of our meetings, decided who is going to have for Grand Marshals for the Black Patch activities this year. We try to look at individuals in the community who have contributed in various ways, whether it be through agriculture, with the actual Black Patch activities, or just a good communities person for the years, and we try to pick two of those, and this year we feel like we have come up with a couple of good candidates, and they both agreed. First is Miss Dot McConnell. Miss Dot has been in this community, she says, a short 92 years, and we're excited to have her serve. She was one of the pages for one of the original Black Patch courts back in 1930s, so she's been familiar with Black Patch a long time. She served for over 20 years as a military serviceman's wife traveling, but Princeton and Caldwell County has always been her home, and she's referred back to that as her home and been kind of an ambassador for the county for several years, and has been known for singing God Bless America and various things at school organizations and the Follies. She's been a mainstay at the Follies for years, but just a good community person, and I know she does a lot of behind-the-scene things that people don't even know about, so we're honored to have her. And also Miss Judy Boaz. Miss Judy was the librarian, the George Coon Public Library here for nearly 30 years and is retired from that. She still stays active in the community. During her time as librarian, she has a vast knowledge of history of this community and has always been willing and just really aggressive about sharing that with anybody that would listen. And she has talked about the Black Patch, has a whole lot of knowledge of that. She still currently serves as the president of the Caldwell County Historic Society and also on the Trail of Tears Commission, plus some other things. I'm sure both of them are active, long-standing homemakers. So enough about me talking. We are honored to introduce and to have our Grand Marshals for the Black Patch 2019, Miss Dot McConnell and Miss Judy Boaz.
Well, ladies, you just tell them that some things get better with age, right?
Right, that's right.
Miss Dot, I do believe that you have gotten better and prettier every year I've seen you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm trying to stay busy right now. I'm doing 200 bracelets for the Homemakers Council, which we'll meet here later, and I've already done 160 of those, so I am trying to stay busy at something.
It would
helps.
take me 5 years to get that many bracelets done.
Last night I did 10.
Oh my goodness.
That is fantastic.
But I go way back. I was also in one of the first pageants that they had for the Black Patch, and I remember I did the minuet. And they ordered our costumes from New York, and we were dressed very, very much like the minuet, and we danced the minuet. Then it was the next year that I was chosen with one other girl to be a page to a queen. She was Miss Nell Rice Wynn from Providence, Kentucky, and Sarah Mohan was her runner-up.
Oh, how wonderful is that?
So I have a lot of good memories.
I'm sure you do. I bet, you need to have a book.
I wouldn't know how to write
it. Miss Judy can help you. She's been around books a little while.
A little bit.
I'm just going to farm you out. Is that okay?
That's fine.
Miss Dot, what are some of your fondest memories being here, a lifelong resident of Caldwell County, and some of the past Black Patch Heritage Festivals that you've attended, and some of the things you remember about being in downtown Princeton during those years?
Oh, I've always been very active downtown. I met my husband downtown, and that's my greatest. That's my greatest thing. Somebody brought him by and said they wanted me to go out with that young man, and he was a young ensign in the Navy, and did he look good? But I just remember growing up here on West Main Street, moving across the street, my folks did. And I lived there until I was about 15 years old before moving to Highland Avenue. And then after my husband and I married, he was recalled to the Navy, and we did spend 20 years in the Navy, which I stayed very busy there too.
You traveled the world, didn't you?
No,
You did
just
not?
the United States.
Just the United States.
He did the overseas things.
He did the overseas
But
things.
he was always on ships, so I didn't go.
Right. Was that hard on you when your husband was away, or you just kept busy doing other things?
I kept busy. On the first trip was San Diego, California. I put my 2 kids in the car, and we came to Kentucky and stayed till he came back.
Wow.
So you see, I'd have good memories of being at home.
Yes, ma'am. That is fantastic. You had some pictures with you. I saw some wonderful pictures of you as a majorette in
Yes.
the band and on Butler Field. Probably you said that was about 1945. Tell us about your experience in the band back then.
Well, yes, that was the first year that Butler had flag girls, and they've had them, I suppose, ever since. But I was the only twirler at that time, and he would send me downfield to perform. And he made a remark to my husband one time, said she wasn't my best twirler, but she was my best performer. And I wonder what he meant by that, don't you?
I'm not going to go there, Miss Dot. I'm not going to go
either.
there, but that is so wonderful.
But
who taught you to twirl?
I took a twirling class on my freshman year because I was not into anything particular, so I took a twirling class.
Okay.
Fantastic. Miss Judy, you've been a mainstay of this community as well. Longtime director of our George Coon Public Library. Again, George mentioned your involvement in our Historical Society as well as the Trail of Tears Commission. What a legacy you have left at the library as well as your work here in town. But tell us just what this community and memories of Black Patch mean to you.
I've been a resident of Princeton and Caldwell County for probably about 46 years, having moved here from Callaway County, from Murray. But now I consider certainly Princeton my home, where I've raised my family, and I've seen the Black Patch parades probably for 45 years here. And the parades are wonderful. They're full of pageantry, and it's a good time to people to reconnect and share memories of old days, and then the young ones coming on to start new memories. So I treasure those thoughts and views. I was looking in a Caldwell County history book last night, saw pictures of some of the first Black Patch parades, and in regard to maybe one of the first parades, that was really something. The ladies were decked out in their finery and in old cars, setting up, waving as we do nowadays, of course, but still they were really with a grand attire on, and the downtown seemed to all come out. Everybody was there, according to the pictures I've looked at. And I was telling Ms. Dodd that I've always heard it said that my father-in-law, who of course is now deceased, always said that he was one of the first kings of the Black Patch Parade. Never could I document that, but he always told that, so we don't know. And I asked Ms. Dodd about that this morning, and if he was not the king, he was very active in some of the earlier, or one of the earliest Black Patch parades.
Isn't that something? And of course, there had to be a queen possibly as well, I would think.
Yes.
And of course, you being very historically minded, the Black Patch Heritage Festival is a lot about history. We had, West Kentucky in this area particularly is about the black dark fire tobacco, one of the few, really the main region where the best of it came from. And then we actually had an uprising here, many years ago about the tobacco.
Right. And it's just like a lot of other things. Maybe people didn't approve of it, didn't like it because, granted, it was an uprising. But it's part of our history of Caldwell County. And I might add that Princeton has some of the most unique, diversified histories of any of the counties surrounding. And, of course, that's what I like, is anything connected to the history. So,
well, you got to have a little excitement. Every novel has got a good excitement building element to it, right?
That's right. That's right. And history's ongoing. I'm certain we're making history now.
What are some of your better memories? You talked about the parades downtown. Do you have any other special memories of just the Black Patch Festival itself and some of the, of course, for years, you all at the library, and it continues, the Black Patch book sale, and that's always been a tremendous thing for our library.
Yes, of course. As you mentioned, the sale, believe is upcoming the last week of August and goes into the week of the Black Patch, but that was always... We were so busy with the sale that sort of engulfed our time, thoughts that we, that was all we had on our mind. It had a lot to do with that. And I'm certain that the director now, Nichelle, and her staff are getting ready for that as we speak. Because it takes several months it takes several weeks to get this pulled off.
Miss Dot, as we transition into the parade and we talk about it, you'll probably have a special ride. Have you arranged for your ride, or has George arranged for you a special ride to come down the parade route? Are you riding together or separate?
Well, my daughter-in-law has arranged for me a car and a driver, so I have my car, and I'm thrilled that they have moved back to Princeton from Virginia to take care of the old woman,
I think she's riding in the back of a Corvette.
I was just wondering. I was thinking myself. I was thinking, you know what? I think she's a Corvette woman.
It's a convertible, and it'll be my first time to ride like that.
Oh, that's awesome. That is fantastic.
I think you deserve it, Miss Dodd.
Thank you.
There's no doubt about that. You brought some other historical pictures of your time here and growing up in Princeton. What are some of the other things that we might not have touched on there that you brought that you would like to mention, some of the special memories that you brought?
Well, really and truly, most of these are just of the high school. The Follies, I have pictures of the Follies because several years I was in the Follies. And then another one going to the Veterans Hospital and entertaining the vets over there. I did that several years. And just fashion shows in Princeton, just things like that we did do, many of back even when I was a young girl.
Well, you're a proud Navy wife.
I am a very proud Navy wife. 28 years he spent in the Navy. I was along 23.
Wow, and these veterans I know mean so much to you. You've always been performing, and again, I've heard it several times at our patriotic ceremonies out at the courthouse, our Veterans Day, but your rendition of the national anthem and God Bless America, different things you sing, just fantastic. What does that mean for you to get up there and to be a proud Navy wife and to sing about our country that way?
I'm very proud of it. Glad that I could do it. I'm afraid I couldn't anymore, but I would get up there and try.
Well, that's
it means a lot to me. It truly did that they would honor me by asking me to sing.
Well, you're truly a special lady and most deserving of our Black Patch Co-Grand Marshal. Can't wait to see you on the back of that Corvette and riding in style and looking as beautiful as always. So thank you so much for what you've done for our community, your input, your singing, and everything you've done. It's just fantastic, and we're so glad as a member of the Princeton Optomist Club and a member of this community to honor you as a Black Patch Grand Marshal. Thank you so much, and look forward to seeing the parade, which will be the Friday afternoon before Black Patch. So please come out and celebrate and cheer on these fine ladies as they ride down the parade.
I'm very honored.
I am as well.
Judy,
almost humbled.
Judy, I was going to ask you, do you have your ride arranged? Are you ready to roll?
Working on it. I'd like a Corvette convertible as well.
Would you like it bright red?
Candy apple red.
That's
would be good.
right. If you're going to do it, girl. Have you got your dress picked out?
Not yet.
No?
Not
yet. Miss Dot, we need to go shopping, don't we? A girl's day. I like that.
I'm working on it.
Well, thank you all, though.
Judy, again, thank you. Many years of service to this community at our library, with the historical societies, and just working behind the scenes, both of you all, to do some really fantastic things for our community. A lot of things folks really won't ever know about, and that's fine. You have servants' hearts, and that's what makes this community click, and that's why you're being honored Black Patch Weekend, and we just cannot thank you enough for your service, your work to this community, and just being a part of the community. You're always smiling, always pleasant, and it's nice to walk down the street or see you, both of you, somewhere and see those smiles. So we can't thank you both enough.
Thank you so much.
Thank
you.
And we appreciate it, George Kilgore.
Thank you, George
You're
Kilgore.
here too, doggone it, aren't you?
George smiles every now and
He
then.
says, I got up early too, Ty.
No, as Ty said, these are a couple of ladies that might not have been in the limelight, and that's what we look for each year. People that just are good, solid community members, and we just want to encourage the community. If you see these ladies between now and Black Patch or anytime, just to take a minute and say thank you for what you've done over the years, and encourage you to be there on Friday, September the 6th at 5 p.m. as they lead off the Black Patch Parade.
I think that's wonderful. We talk about role models all the time for young ladies, and you all are wonderful role models that they can look up to, and I think that's wonderful. Thanks so much. It's 8:23 with Tess and Ty. Stick around. We've got even more to come. And hey, it just keeps on going all morning long. It's going to be a high of 87 today. That weather is going to continue all the way through the week. So maybe a little bit of a chance of rain on Sunday, but otherwise highs in the upper 80s. So keep that sunblock out. I'll keep you up to date and have your full forecast in just a few minutes. Tess and Ty in 1580 103.3 WPKY.
At ACE, we believe there's nothing better than helping kids. That's why we've been proud to support Children's Miracle Network hospitals for over 25 years. This Friday through Sunday, get our 5-gallon bucket and 20% off almost anything that fits inside when you donate $5 to support Children's Miracle Network hospitals. And like ACE, CMN hospitals are local, so the money you donate helps kids near you.
ACE is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Offer valid at participating stores on regular price merchandise only. Additional conditions and exclusions apply. See store for details.
This is the sound of @KoalaMama85 asking DQ to bring back the Snickers Blizzard. And this is the sound of us making the Snickers Blizzard and the all-new peanut butter pie Blizzard made with Snickers. And this is the sound of 5,157 happy Snickers Blizzard lovers saying OMG, smile emoji, praise hands, thank you, exclamation point, praise hands, praise hands. That's what a Snickers Blizzard sounds like. And it's back with the all-new peanut butter pie Blizzard made with Snickers.
DQ, happy tastes good.
WPKY.
Hush, little baby, don't
What does your morning sound like?
the itsy bitsy spider. Rock-a-bye, baby.
She's finally asleep.
Hi, welcome to McDonald's.
Can I get a sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddles, please?
Here's to making your morning routine a little better with a delicious breakfast from McDonald's.
There's an advantage in being the home team. You know who Emma Talley, Jake Lewis, and Pat Gates are. You've seen the wall around Butler Stadium and have heard of the Caldwell Crazies. Trice Hughes, we're your home team. Here's our home team deal of the
A
week.
gorgeous 2018 Buick LaCrosse with low mileage. Kelley Blue Book Fair purchase price is $22,870. This vehicle is Trice priced at $20,000.
Get this home team deal of the week at Trice Hughes. Find us on Highway 91 North, Princeton, or tricehughes.com.
Get ready for back to school with Health First Community Health Center, offering immunizations, physicals, and well or sick child visits. At Health First, we are here to help your family get prepared and stay healthy this school year. Schedule your appointment today at 877-667-7017. That's 877-667-7017. Same day and walk-in appointments are available. Located at 1100 South Jefferson Street in Princeton. At Health First Community Health Center, your health is our first concern.
It's not too late yet to get your tickets for the must-attend event of the summer.
Join Casey Jones Distillery and the Pennyroyal Arts Council as we celebrate Woodstock's 50th anniversary with the Lights Out Festival, featuring the Woodstock Rock Orchestra Saturday, August 17th.
Hopkinsville's own Mark Jones, Chip Graham, and Alonzo Pennington, along with 12 seasoned musicians, will take you on a musical journey through the performances of songs played at the festival by groups like
The Who, Sly and the Family Stone, Joe Cocker, Janis Joplin, Creedence Clearwater Revival, Santana, Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young, and many others.
Advance tickets are $25 online at pennyroyalarts.org and CaseyJonesDistillery.com, at the Alhambra Theater box office and Casey Jones Distillery, or there'll be 30 at the gate.
Gates open at 10 a.m., food trucks serving all day, warm-up music at 2:30 p.m., and the concert starts at 7 p.m.
Special thanks to Budweiser of Hopkinsville as our lead sponsor, so get online and get your tickets today for the Lights Out Festival coming Saturday, August 17th.
1580 103.3 WPKY. I will tell you what, that lady, I just love her to death, Miss Dot, and she is just a hoot. I love her, and she's got such a great story, and I think you could spend 2 or 3 hours with her and just barely touch the surface on it.
I wanted to spend the whole day with her. She's so fun to talk to.
Isn't she a hoot?
So much good stuff, and Judy the same way. Judy has so much
I don't want to leave
historical
Miss
knowledge.
Judy out. She's so neat.
Congratulations to both of them. Very, very deserving of our Black Patch Co-Grand Marshals this year. You can see them in the parade at 6 o'clock on a Saturday.
If they have
September
their way
the 6th,
in convertibles.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt they're going to be ragtopping that afternoon, that evening. So that's going to be lots and lots of fun.
Well, I'll tell you, one thing I enjoy about Coffee Talk that I said I always had enjoyed, and I was looking forward to when I first came back, was seeing people that I hadn't seen maybe since we were in school or, in a million years, and kind of catching up and seeing what they've been doing and that sort of thing. And I will tell you what's even better is when some of the people that you knew back when, now they grew up, and doggone if they didn't make something out of themselves.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that nice?
That is something special, and our next guest has done that. And in fact, Brian Lacefield is our next guest.
Right.
He's the state executive director for USDA's Farm Service Agency. And
that's got to be a big business card.
He was appointed by the Trump administration. That's pretty cool too. So
how many people can say that?
Yeah, and hometown boy, and in fact, he grew up across the street from Miss Dot.
Aww.
So they're reminiscing.
Now, how
out there.
interesting is that got to be?
Yeah, we just got lucky on that one today.
We
just
did.
Got lucky. Sometimes
I would love to tell you that we did it on purpose.
And I'm sure he's going to share some of his memories. They're out there reminiscing right now. We might get him in here today. We might not. But Miss Dot is so captivating. We might have Miss Dot come in here and interview him.
I'm telling you, Miss Dot, I can see how that lady has been successful over her lifetime because she's a spitfire. And I think you got to have a certain, what do they call it, chutzpah or something about you, where to be able to go into your 90s and still be successful with that much energy.
No doubt about it, and that's exactly, you hit the nail on the head. She's got it. And then, as an Optomist Club member myself and all the Princeton Optomist Club, it was so cool to have these co-grand marshals, chosen, and then to come in and be able to tell us a little bit about themselves, and then to honor them in our Black Patch Parade coming up in September. So anyway, it's a wonderful, wonderful thing. That's coming up in September 6th and 7th, our parade, the 6th that evening, and then...
Of course, even the dog show. There's going to be so many things surrounded in Black Patch that, you don't want to miss any of it because there's a ton of it. Of course, I think the dog show is going to be a lot of fun this year. I mean, you talk about pomp and circumstance. That's going to be a big stage and the carpet and the whole 9 yards.
Fun for the entire family. Of course, all hands on deck downtown for WPKY, and... the crew will be down there, and we're looking forward to that as well. So welcome into the studio. And I know we were talking, you grew up across the street from Miss Dot. Brian Lacefield is here, and we're so tickled to have you. He is the executive director of the FSA from the USDA, and appointed by President Trump. That's kind of a big deal.
Well, it was definitely a phone call I wasn't expecting when it occurred. But to your point, I couldn't believe when I found out who I was going to be following on the program.
That's a tough act to follow, too, isn't it?
You didn't tell me that. And this is also first interview I've ever had set up via Twitter from a guy with a drive-by trucker T-shirt and his profile pic. So you don't say no to those kind of things, Ty. So
if the drive-by trucker T-shirt pulled you in, I'm glad it did. I figured I might lure you somehow because you and I I really, it's kind of funny. We don't know each other that well. Our paths have crossed mainly through the banking industry. I'm a little bit older than you. I was kind of out of school when you came through the Caldwell County school system. But, of course, your father, a longtime professor out at the UK Research and Education Center, you grew up in this community. So it's kind of nice to finally connect with you.
It is, Todd. I think it's funny. I was thinking about this driving over from Hopkinsville this morning. That's where I ended up yesterday. And I was thinking about, you're boomerang back too to WPKY. Now, with early years of my youth, I remember listening to you on the morning,
Yes, sir.
and I grew up across the street from Commander and Miss McConnell, and next door was Dot's brother, Glenn Bright, and
Right.
so Bright in my name was what I thought your last name was.
Right.
So I thought your first name was Ty Engel, and you were Ty Engel. Right.
Oh, can we change that?
so-
Because I love that.
that was my morning thought coming over, is how that is fast forward. I remember listening to that in the mornings getting ready for school and
That's
thinking
hilarious.
that.
Well,
So
Ty
I
Engel.
appreciate you listening.
Ty Engel.
Because that was back in my
Tingle.
early days.
We could call him Tingle,
I
couldn't we?
thought that might start a little buzz if I shared that story coming
Tingle
over.
Bright.
Well, we are we're thrilled to have you here because there's a lot of things going on. And I guess my first question is, Brian, what's it like when you get that call? You were in banking. We stomped around some of the same banking territory, but you were a banker doing quite well with a great company, great bank, and then you get this call. Boy, what was that like?
Well, it was very, very life-altering. You're right. I've had some great opportunities in the area with the last one with F&B Bank, but also spent time with Planners Bank,
Right.
located here. We weren't in Princeton when I worked
Right.
for them, but both fantastic community banks.
Yes.
Love those, and I'll brag on the other two we've got here. I love a community bank.
They're nothing like it.
have worked well with those. Also spent some time at Hopkinsville Elevator with their agrichem
Right.
store that we've had, and then my very first job was with the UK Farm Analysis Program, which was part of the extension where you mentioned Dad worked, different things. But that was a great education, getting to work with farmers, and I had several farmers here in this community that remain close friends today with. And looking back, actually, each one of those were preparing me for what I'm going to be doing now with the Farm Service Agency. We do farm policy programs, and then we also have farm loans. So we got two sides to our house. But back to your question on getting that phone call, and I hope my son's not listening because he still thinks President Trump called me himself to do this. I don't have the heart to tell him. It was a guy named Nick from the White House that was the actual one that called. But this position changes every administration. I do work for the president, but I work through the Secretary of Agriculture, Sonny Perdue, and so that's where the appointment came from. And it's one of those things you can't say no to.
Sure.
You're right. I had a great job where I thought I would be retiring from, and to leave that to take a job with a known shelf life, you know, I'm only here for a certain period of time, but it was a great opportunity, and one I thought we're in what I sometimes tongue in cheek say we're the 6th year of this 3-year downturn in agriculture we were predicting. So it's very important with what we're doing. You look at just the programs that we have going out right now with our normal programs, and then we're in our second round of programs that are going to offset some of this trade disruption that we're having in the markets.
Well, I mean, it really does. It changes a lot of the prices for the farmers, and I know a lot of them say, well, you know, a lot of that stuff doesn't matter. Oh, yes, it does. I mean, it can mean a huge difference in not only the livestock that you have, the food crops that you're raising. You know, it makes a big difference across the board, from the feed that you feed them to the livestock that you have to sell eventually. All of that lives and dies by a lot of those treaties.
Oh, absolutely. And Ty and I will be the first to tell you as old bankers that the price sure matters. I mean, what we're looking at, and it's not just into the producer, but you look into these rural economies to what we're at, like Princeton and all of our surrounding area. But a dollar in agriculture, we used to say when it was tobacco dollars and a lot of local labor,
Right.
it turned 7 times the velocity of money.
Right.
We're now looking about 2 to 3 times. But you look about what we do in these areas, and so that impacts every industry that you're dealing with.
Well, and you're seeing some of the small guys, you know, the small farmers, they're struggling, and for the but they're struggling. But now we're finding new ways and new things that we can do. Where used to, everybody had tobacco in some way. And now it looks like the hemp production is coming in. So, I mean, if we can change with the times And maybe we can hold on a little longer.
Well, that's it. We have to be adaptive. We have to be reactive. We have to be able to look at what's going on in the market and how we can do it. Actually, I wrote a quote down. Wasn't even thinking about this one, but this was from a meeting I was at yesterday, which was a joint meeting, the land meetings, linking agriculture for networking and development. It was a joint meeting between producers and manufacturers, I guess agriculture folks. But one of the folks said, in creating a new market for their products, is we need to move from defense to offense with our consumers. Yes. And I think that's right with what we're doing. We've got to look at developing new markets and how we can be more vertically integrated. And the way I look at where the farmer can capture a little bit more of that price that the consumer's paying at the supermarket.
Well, even like the equine expo that we've got coming up, a huge thing that Shane Bogle and a lot of them had worked so hard on. When they have a farm that's willing to test a lot of products, and that saves the farmers a lot of money in the long run because, they're not buying products that aren't going to make sense for their farm. So if they can test and come up with this technology and see what's going to work, I think that'll have a lot to do with it.
Oh, yeah. Anytime you can shorten the learning curve or flatten it out and let somebody else make these mistakes before we roll it out on a larger scale, it's fantastic. And you nailed it there just with technology. That is going to be the key to feeding this growing population over the next couple decades.
How are just recently at the end of last month, I think there was a new market facilitation program, new funding announced. I think it was $16 billion for our farmers. How does that affect Kentucky farmers directly, or does it at all?
Oh, it will affect in a big way. We just wrapped up the first round that was announced about a year ago, and the payments were all concluded by May. And just to give you an aspect for Kentucky, it was $168 million that came out on this one, and that was on a program that was initially billed as a $12 billion program. That was tied directly to a producer's crops for the 18 crop year. This program is slightly different.
It's new and it was just announced.
Correct, the one that it just started Monday. Right. So a lot of my phone calls have been coming about things that producers are looking at, concerns they've got, or from my staff on how we're trying to get everything lined out. Just so it's in its infancy, but sign up is underway for it right now, and it's tied more to the county's history of production with the producer's current amount of acres that they're planted.
Okay, so
but it will be sizable. It will, in my estimation, again, it'll depend on levels of participation in the program, but will exceed the level of what we paid out on the last one. So that obviously extremely significant in these communities.
Well, it's helpful. We keep seeing from the federal level at least. We keep the tariffs and the trade war, potential trade wars with China. This is affecting our farmers as some of these crops are affected, and this help from the administration that trickles down to our farmers and our producers. Very important, isn't it?
It is, and I'm very thankful they recognize the need in this. There's not a producer I've ever worked with in 20 years of working with them and their money that want to receive their money through my agency. Nobody wants to do it that way. They'd rather have the market price and be able to do this without it. However, I'm very thankful that we do have these safety nets in place, that they're not designed to make the profits. They're designed to keep us in business to where we're able to go. You former banker, you're well aware of the level of capital investment it is on a pretty thin margin industry.
As far as, we've had a lot of flooding, we've had a lot of issues over the last year, the farmers have had to deal with. We've gone from a couple of years ago, we couldn't, the drought was so bad and it burned up all the hay in the fields that we were, going to roll corn stalks. That was the one thing that we did back then. Has that affected the crop insurance and that sort of thing this year? And as far as all of these new bills and things being signed, where is that at?
Well, the weather didn't impact this market facilitation plan. That is tied to the trade disruption. The crop insurance question, yes, that is, because there's a lot of acres that were not planted that went into a preventative plant option in the crop insurance. And then anytime the crop insurance that producers use is based on their individual historic production. So a year like 2012 you're referencing, where we were dry and it was burned up, that would be a very negative year in it. And this year we had challenges getting crops in the ground. We actually, for the first time in a long while, extended our crop reporting deadline, which pushed out the insurance dates, giving producers another week to get in. So we got a later start on a lot of crops getting it in the ground, and some acres were just not planted because of the challenges with the weather.
And some of us were actually surprised, though. Even though we planted later, it seemed like a lot of things were getting ready ahead of schedule, even though we might have planted them just a little bit longer, in the spring. And that's what a lot of us were finding this year. The weather's been good to us in a lot of ways.
Well, it's been good here. I will tell you, in the last 2 weeks, if you follow on Twitter, I try to let folks know where I'm at. I made it from, I was in Fulton County all the way to Greenup County, all then down in the southeast part of the state, and literally made a circle of Kentucky. And I'll brag on all the producers listening in this area. The crop condition here in this area is fantastic.
Oh, they're pretty.
It is a beautiful crop we've got right now, and very, very proud and thankful. A lot of good managers too. They can only do so much. The good Lord has to help us too with a lot of.
The tobacco looks gorgeous this year, doesn't it?
The crops are beautiful down here.
What about Brian? As we look ahead, some legislative issues that might be concern or positive or negative for our farmers?
Well, right now, we got a pretty big check with the 2018 Farm Bill. Right now, when you're looking at things that are not moving in Congress or having challenges, I love to point out that this Farm Bill that was passed in 2018, a bipartisan bill, which I like to always say is agriculture is not political. We like everybody.
Everybody likes to eat, don't they?
Agriculture is not political. So we got this bill passed on time. And that's very rare. I've worked 20 years with farmers and their money and hovered around farm bills, and we've always had to operate off a 1-year extension, 2-year extension of an existing thing. I've tried to find it. I believe you have to go back to the 85 Farm Bill. It was either 85 or the 92 that were passed on time. So that first is something to brag on right now. When you see so much division, that agriculture was something we all agreed on and got a Farm Bill passed. I think it was great with for Kentucky. We had Leader McConnell was the chair of the committee, put himself on there to get things moving on there, and then we also had Congressman Comer, which here in the 1st District was on the Farm Bill committee, and one of the only former ag commissioner serving in Congress. So there are 47 folks on the conference committee to hammer out the difference between a Senate and a House bill, and we had 2 from Kentucky. So I always like to point that out that we were at the seat of the table on drafting that, and it was a very farmer-friendly farm bill. We saw a lot of the programs that were working well, maybe some tweaks to improve them a little bit, expanded our CRP acres, so more conservation dollars. But on the loan side was really helpful as we raised loan limits on both our direct and guaranteed loans with funding there to do it. So we're making sure we can help as many farmers, but in a bigger way.
That's what I was going to ask you. As far as this environment, we know it's been a little tough on our farmers, downturn, economic times, but our farmers, still in a position where they can get loans and funds and different things like that.
Well, that's right. With what we do with our agency, we're not in competition with banks. We're an alternative lender that works in to help beginning farmers get started, or to work in a situation where maybe our terms are a little better than what you would see from a conventional lender. And so you're right. And some things, Ty, comes from a regulatory issue where a bank may want to do everything possible, but we're at a point we can't, and that's where we can step in to give them a secondary source of repayment and get things going. So to put it bluntly, I believe on our producers, and we will be able to navigate through these challenges.
There's a great new farm website out there. I think it's so cool. You can get on the USDA website and you can say, you want to become a farmer, here's how. and it directs you. I mean, my son is studying agriculture at Murray State University. I really don't know what he wants to do with it. I'm not an ag person. I mean, did FFA in high school, never grew up on a farm. Did a little farm
lending. I took every ag and farm class available. Are you kidding me?
In my years of banking, I was like, I can do some commercial stuff. I'm not much. I don't want to go out to a farm and have to talk that stuff because they're going to smell me real quick.
But these days, it's both. It's the guys that are in the field, and it's the guys that have on the tie. I mean, it takes both together, especially with the technology and that sort of thing. It takes both. It really does.
Well, it does. About 20% of the jobs in Kentucky tie to agriculture. I mean, we got 2% of the population's feeding 100%, but it takes a team to keep them all moving in the right direction, whether it's our industry folks, our service folks, or education folks.
And you're in town today, of course, for the dedication, I think, the ribbon cutting at the new Soybean Association. Tell us a little bit about that.
That's it. They've got a wonderful facility.
Yes.
I've already been through it and had a meeting there already, but had a series of events down here and wanted to make sure I was able to make it by today to see Debbie and her team. But I love having it located in my old hometown,
Yes.
and it's a wonderful facility, and I know it'll be who's who of folks today through there. Be a good time to do some networking.
What time are the events out there?
That's a good question, Ty. I probably should have that figured out. I knew I was supposed to show up here at 8 o'clock, and then somebody's going to tell me where I go next.
Okay.
I think they start after lunch.
I'm
I'm planning on being there after lunch.
good at putting people on the spot there, Brian. So we might have to go to lunch, and then we'll go out there together. But,
well, thank you for coming by, though. We
man.
sure do appreciate it.
Well, it is my pleasure. I love a chance to get to visit with you and to talk about things going on. And, again, with the radio station I grew up listening to. So.
Tell us quickly, you grew up in this community. Tell us about some of your past memories of our Black Patch and just what it's like to be in a community that is rural. It is about agriculture here in Caldwell County.
Well,
Tell us about
I love that, and I was listening to Dot and Judy talk about that on there. That to see something where we're celebrating our heritage and dark tobacco is something so unique to about a 100-mile radius of right here, us in Tennessee, and there is so much history and culture with it. I did my master's thesis looking at the impact of tobacco to these areas, and studying a lot about it and growing up with it. You know that there's a lot of science and agronomics to it, but there's a lot of art form to it too. And these producers, they know. In fact, when we were seeing some expansion in it, I was talking to one of my customers that was a fantastic dark fire tobacco producer, and I said, you ought to set up a clinic to help doing this. He said, Brian, there's just no way to teach all my secrets I got of covering up bad problems. So I thought that was pretty telling, but it is. I mean, these are things that are generational and experiences that have brought those together. So I love the fact tobacco is still a major driver to our ag economy. $350 million going into that. Now that is down considerably. I mean, it used to be $1 billion impact to it. So we have seen that tobacco has both shifted from east to west and intensifying here, but we also see so much fewer people involved in it. Last night I was at the Farm to Table event over in Mayfield. Our ag commissioner was speaking, and I've seen him do this in meetings before, but he'll ask everybody in the audience, if you have raised tobacco or worked in tobacco at some point in your life, raise your hand. And invariably at a meeting like that where it's a lot of folks that have either grown up on a farm or worked in it at some point, everybody's hand is up. Then he says, now leave that hand up if you're still working in tobacco today. He did that. I was at an event with him in Greenup County the other day, and there wasn't another hand up.
Wow.
Now there last night we're still several hands as we're growing a lot down here. But to see that
they were still in the field. They weren't there.
Maybe that's where it was. They were doing that. But to look at this parade, every community needs to have a festival, to see one that celebrates our history and as well as the economic impact is fantastic. I hate I'm going to be in Detroit Farm Bill training, or I would come back to see Miss Dot there drive in the convertible and bring the kids who we grew up. My brother and I across the street from the McConnells my whole life. I told her out there I've known her for almost 45 years. She said that. I said, well, I don't remember not knowing you. So that's what it is.
One quick question before I get you out of here. What is it like to work for Secretary Perdue? I mean, he just seems like the greatest guy, the coolest character around.
He is a fantastic secretary. I'll run through real quick why I like working for him. Said number one, he's a Southerner. It's been 35 years since we've had one that talks like us.
I love that.
I think it's great. He came from Georgia. Their agriculture, they've got peanuts, we got tobacco, and we both got a lot of chickens. So I think you've got a plus there. The others, you look at his background. He's farm raised, military veteran, trained veterinarian. Then also felt the call for public service. Served multiple terms as a state representative in Georgia, state senator in Georgia, and then 2 terms as governor. And I always like that. That's the ultimate job evaluation when they keep sending you back. And then after that, he spent time in the private sector with a global trading company. So you've got one of the 9 cabinet members there sitting with the president talking about trade, knows the impact. Right. And I think there's only 4 of our secretaries who have filed a Schedule F in their adult lives, and my boss is one of them. So he has done a great job from his vision and leadership, and also with the other appointed folks that I'm blessed to serve with and for. We couldn't put together a better team. I'm very proud to serve this administration.
I'm sure you are. We're proud of you, local hometown boy. You are in with the administration. You are doing it. Agriculture kind of eases through your veins, your family, and can't thank you enough for what you're doing for all these farmers and our ag producers out here and looking out for them, and appreciate you coming by today. Brian Lacefield.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
All right. Brian Lacefield is our executive director for USDA's Farm Service Agency in Kentucky. He lives in Hopkinsville, but he's a hometown Princeton boy, and he's working hard for our farmers and our agricultural industry. So we can't thank him enough.
Well, thanks so much. It's Tess and Ty at 1580 103.3 WPKY. Stick around.
Here's your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast.
Well, it's going to be a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Sunshine with a high of 87. And, of course, tonight, partly cloudy with a low of 67. Tomorrow, sunshine again with a high of 87. It's 70 at 1580 103.3 WPKY.
Your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast is brought to you by Raider Auction Company.
Mark Patrick Hypnosis is coming to Hopkinsville on September 12th for one day only. Lose weight or stop smoking now through hypnosis. Join the over 500,000 people who have stopped smoking and lost weight the Mark Patrick way. That's right. Join America's best-known hypnotist, Mark Patrick. Weight loss hypnosis seminar is Thursday, September 12th from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. Stop smoking hypnosis seminar is from 8 to 10 p.m. Both are at the Holiday Inn Hotel, 2910 Fort Campbell Boulevard. Registration starts 30 minutes prior to sessions. Seating is limited, so get there early to reserve your spot. For only $49.99, attend these life-changing programs and learn how the power of hypnosis can help achieve your goal to lose weight or stop smoking without any willpower. 100% guaranteed. So whether you need to lose weight or want to stop smoking, join Mark Patrick Hypnosis Thursday, September 12th at the Holiday Inn Hotel, 2910 Fort Campbell Boulevard. Doors open 30 minutes prior to seminars. Go to markpatrickseminars.com.
1580 103.3 WPKY. Tess and Ty, and we're live, and we've got Mr. Charlie Cotton. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Well, I thought I hit your button the first time. Now say hi. There you are. Hey, you have got 3 of the cutest puppies that I think I've ever seen you have out there. And you know who I'm talking about. Actually, it's 4, isn't it? It's 3 girls and a boy. Thelma and Louise.
Boxer mixes.
Oh, they're gorgeous. Louisa is, oh, no, it's Thelma that's at the fluffy one, right? Oh, Thelma and me.
When they came in, they could have been abused. Someone threw them out of a car out in the community.
That's what I thought. That's well, you know, as long as they're someplace good, they needed to be away from the guy that threw them out of a moving vehicle.
Oh, yeah, that was obvious, right.
So I'm glad that he got out of there. And who else do you have down there?
Okay,
now,
our feature today is going to be Bear. He's about 4 years old, and I can't remember if we brought him out here or not, but anyway, he's a...
Well, his sister, I believe we had out here, because she got adopted, right?
She got adopted, yeah. Bear is still with us, but he's a very loving dog. He's a big old teddy bear. He probably weighs about 65 pounds, but he's housebroken. And he just needs a new home. He just needs some love.
And how old did you say Bear was?
Probably about 3 or 4 years old.
That's not bad.
No, that's just a good age.
You think he's good with kids? I mean, does he seem?
Yes, because there's a couple of children that comes out and, with the help of their grandmother, walks him or whatever. So he's fine. He's not a problem on a leash.
Well, it seems like you've gotten a lot adopted and actually found some homes this week.
Oh, we've done real well this week.
I think that's wonderful. Is there anything that you're needing out there? And before you needed canned dog food, so.
Well, we can still use some canned dog food. Yeah. Occasionally, when you have dogs come in that are real timid or whatever, they won't eat dry dog food, and so then we ease them. We start them with soft dog food, ease them into the others. So, because everybody needs a good meal.
Well, I think it's wonderful because you guys have done a good job, and I keep seeing all the updates as far as who all left and who all found a home. And you found I think it was a chocolate lab that I saw this morning.
Yeah, that was one other thing I wanted to mention. She's only been there about 3 days. She was picked up behind Tractor Supply. I feel like she belongs to someone. She's well cared for. Her toenails has been trimmed or whatever.
She's
beautiful.
If
this is your dog, give us a yell.
Beautiful. A chocolate lab. And she doesn't.
And then we have one for you. We have a Great Pyrenees mix.
Oh, I saw that one.
Stands about this tall.
I thought she found her home. I thought they came and got her.
No, they didn't. They called about it, but they didn't come get her.
Oh, well, see, I'm a Pyrenees fan. I love a Great Pyrenees.
And she'd be great with your kids because she's so laid back. Yeah.
She would be great on my couch.
Yeah, she told me yesterday she wanted to go home with you for me. Be sure and tell you today, so I'm doing that.
I'll tell you, David. Do you hear? You need to tell the hubs. Tell him, Charlie.
Okay, David. Come get the dog.
See? Charlie said it's okay. Charlie gave
you got
me
the Charlie
permission.
stamp of approval.
It is 8:56. Charlie Cotton, give them your phone number.
365-1000.
And what days are you open out there?
Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
What's the hours?
10 to 4, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. 10 to 2 on Saturday.
Sure would
Closed
be a
on
pretty
Wednesday,
day.
Sunday.
Be a pretty day to come out and walk those dogs tomorrow, wouldn't it?
But it would be a great day. That's right. Open by appointment if you need me. Okay.
He'll come out there if he needs to. And you've had people come in from out of town lately too, right?
Yeah. Last week, a guy, his only off days was Wednesday and Sunday, so I met him on Wednesday. He adopted 2 dogs and come and got them on Sunday afternoon. So.
I love that. I love happy endings, Charlie Cotton. You bring that girl to see me if she's still there next week, okay?
Okay. I might even make a special trip by here with you.
I might be happy about that. Jeff Simms, what are you doing this morning? I've got a studio full this morning.
You do.
I do. I like it that way.
Just want to remind people in Caldwell County and in the 4th District about, the work
closing.
starting
That's
tomorrow.
right?
Tomorrow. So
Ty's chasing a fly.
It's going to be a big day.
Pay no attention to the smacking sound.
I couldn't help myself, you know.
The great hunter is trying to get a fly.
It was all over poor Brian, and he took it like a pro, and then Jeff's over here swatting, and I was trying to say, okay, I'm going to be professional here, not mention there's a fly buzzing around, so I had to pop it. I think I got it. I don't know.
He's going to flex his muscles next. He's trying. So what's time? Is it like midnight tonight? Is it first thing in the morning?
First thing in the morning.
And we're still like, what, a 5-day?
5 day. They do. People are commenting on how they are getting stuff staged to undertake the work. So
I've noticed they brought all my Tinker toys out. I've wanted to go over there and jump on one so bad.
So it might be a good opportunity, tomorrow if you've got a little one that likes tractors and,
Oh, there's some pretty
all
ones.
All that kind of stuff, all that kind of construction stuff. You might be able to go to Casey's, get an ice cream cone and watch.
There you go. Well, when that's some pretty big construction that's going on. So, it might be interesting to watch a little bit. We do have some traffic concerns as well this weekend. Of course, we do have the wiffle ball tournament this weekend.
Yep.
But along with that wiffle ball tournament is going to become some traffic issues, right?
Yes. With the number of teams that Ken has, and it's great they have that level of participation, but signs and a police car are going to be stationed out there to try to get people to slow in that curve because it is a very dangerous curve on a normal day. So to have traffic in and out, want to make sure that we do everything possible to keep, especially people from out of town that are unaware it's going on, to be safe. And then the last thing I've got is 293 South. From the courthouse area to 903 in the next 2 weeks, the state will begin paving that road. So I got that confirmation yesterday.
Now, is that going to be shut down or down to one lane?
It'll be one lane.
But you're talking about school traffic at that time because school's going to be back in session at that time,
Hopefully they'll get it done next week, but maybe not.
I don't want to shoot the messenger. I'm
just
saying.
No.
If it starts at that time, you might want to give yourself enough time,
Yep.
The bus may come a little early. The bus may come a little late.
So I went yesterday, and once I got confirmation, met with Jimmy Dyer, and we checked in with him on school bus transportation as well as turnarounds in the county. So we've had that meeting, and we look to be in good stead. But if you have that concern, then definitely give me a call. And then the last thing that
and if they do have an area where a school bus is having to turn around, it's overgrown or they can't see around the corner, maybe there's giant holes or especially over the summer we have a lot of things that were washed out due to flooding. If you have those issues, you need to go ahead and call now so that they have some time to repair that or mow that or get that out of the way before the school bus runs down the road, right?
Yep. And, Jimmy does a great job and his team, the drivers, in reporting all that stuff for the end of the year. So
right.
We monitor that. Now, one thing that will impact traffic that's not in my district is there will be some 3 cross drain replacements going on 293 North that the state will be undertaking. And will be during
That's
school.
my hood. Now you're jumping in my hood, Jeff.
And also Princeton Olney Road paving.
No.
That was approved yesterday by the state. So that will take place in the next couple months.
Okay.
So we have a lot of stuff going on. Hey, it's all
but
great
it's progress.
stuff.
It's progress. It's stuff that we fuss about on a daily basis, and we say, "Man, they should do that." So when they do, we gotta have a little bit of patience, right?
Gonna have to adapt. Now that Princeton Olney project will probably result in some rerouting, as will 293 North, the cross drain replacement, because that will affect both lanes. So there will be detours involved in that.
You're just full of good news this morning.
Hey, I mean, I'm just trying to.
Okay, don't forget, closing tomorrow, this intersection right here.
91.
And?
Come on.
62.
62, there you go.
You know where it's at? It's 91 at WPKY Studios. That's what it is. It's across from Casey's and next to Trice Hughes.
We didn't have to tell her, Ty. You're winning.
I'm getting there.
What a tutor you are.
I'm going to have a bow tie on one of these days. I'm going to walk in with a bow tie and my boots on. How about that? It's 9:02. Charlie Cotton, thank you for coming in from the Caldwell County Animal Shelter. 365-1000. And Jeff, give them your number as well.
270-601-1081. If you got calls, got turnaround questions,
and texting some YouTube, links of some cool music. He likes
that. We love that.
Thank you guys so much. Tess and Tide, 1580 103.3 WPKY.
Serving Caldwell County since 1950. We're 1580 103.3 WPKY Princeton. Here's your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast.
Well, it should be a beautiful day in the neighborhood. A high of 87, sunshine. Jeff said he's going to come home. He's going to go home and mow the yard. That's what he says. That's what he says. The overnight low is 67. I'm sticking with it. Your wife's going to love me. Tomorrow, sunshine, about a 10% chance of rain on Sunday. Other than that, your work week is even shaping up to be good all the way through Wednesday. It is 71 at 1580, 103.3 WPKY.
Your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast is brought to you by Cozy Living Interiors.
There's an advantage in being the home team. You know who Emma Talley, Jake Lewis, and Pat Gates are. You've seen the wall around Butler Stadium and have heard of the Caldwell Crazies. Trice Hughes, we're your home team. Here's our home team deal of the week.
A gorgeous 2018 Buick LaCrosse with low mileage. Kelly Blue Book Fair purchase price is $22,870. This vehicle is Trice priced at $20,000.
Get this home team deal of the week at Trice Hughes. Find us on Highway 91 North, Princeton, or tricehughes.com.
What does your morning sound like?
Morning, Al. Next stop, 32nd Street.
Welcome to McDonald's.
Hi, can I get an Egg McMuffin, please?
Here's to making your morning routine a little better with a delicious breakfast from McDonald's.
Fox News, I'm Jill Nato. China's threatening unspecified countermeasures if President Trump goes ahead with a new 10% tariff on $300 billion worth of Chinese imports. The president at a rally in Ohio last night saying the tariff's justified.
For the last 20 years, China's taken hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars out of our country, and now we're stopping the theft.
The tariff may drive up some consumer prices. The granddaughter of Robert Kennedy's died in Hyannisport. Police sources say methadone was found near the body of Saoirse Kennedy Hill.
The statement from the Kennedy family quoted her 91-year-old grandmother, Ethel Kennedy, as saying, "The world is a little less beautiful today."
Julie Leonardi of Fox TV affiliate Boston 25. And former First Lady Michelle Obama tells an Amtrak magazine there's no chance she'll run for president. This is Fox News.
Here's your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast.
Well, a perfect weekend to take in those Dotson Day celebrations or head out to the Jake Hodge Foundation Wiffle Ball Tournament. Mostly sunny today, a high 87, partly cloudy tonight, a low 67. Tomorrow looks nice, partly sunny, a high 86. Tomorrow night, partly cloudy, a low 67. The outlook for Sunday says a slight chance of showers, just about a 20% chance, high 85. And that sunshine continues on into Monday and the beginning of the work week as well. Again, for today, mostly sunny, a high 87.
Your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast is brought to you by Farless Realty.
It's summertime and the living is easy. So is giving your kitchen or bath a touch of style at the Home Depot Days of Doing Bath and Kitchen event. Right now, get the faucet you really want for less, starting at just $44. Faucets from Moen, Delta, and Glacier Bay in every design and finish you can imagine. Brushed nickel, chrome, even matte black. Today is the day for doing and easy updates at the Home Depot Days of Doing Bath and Kitchen event going on now. The Home Depot, more saving, more doing. Offer valid through October 5th while supplies last.
Get the whole family ready to step into that famous back-to-school feeling with Famous Footwear's buy one, get one half off sale going on now. That's one pair of checkered Vans for him and half off Adidas for her. Fresh new Timberlands for her and half off new sandals for you. Shop top brands that'll make your family feel like they're on top of the world. Famous Footwear, because everyone deserves to feel a little famous. Buy one item, get a second item of equal or lesser value for half price. Some exclusions apply.
This harvest season, Penny Ryle Electric asks you to focus on safety. The risk of electrocution on farms is common this time of year due to heavy equipment coming in close contact with overhead lines. If you're inside machinery when coming in contact with a power line, travel at least 3 tractor lengths before stopping. If you can't drive or are injured, stay where you are until help arrives. If you must get out of the machinery, jump out and away, taking care to land with